Alright, hello all you crazy people out there, my name is Dragonite and welcome back to Harvest December. It was standard routine for me to walk through the shopping arcade in town on the way to school. Wow. Normally the entrance to the arcade would have been a large arc that read Tagami Shopping Arcade. Good morning, young Master Towada. But today there was a large banner that covered it that read, Congratulations, we have our new heir. Wow, word travels fast. Good morning, young master. Oh look, it's young Master Towada. I felt a migraine coming on. Their shops were holding special sales in honor of the new Towada baby. I'm sure this is all because you all need a reason to party. That's not true. It was a man from the bookshop I frequented. The entire town is genuinely happy for you both. We're just trying to celebrate. Why do you think I have a feeling you're smirking at me? I just have a wolfish smile. I was unconvinced. I let out a sigh. I don't think Masaki really wants to hear about wolfish smiles right now. The third Towada princess in line. The legend continues. Princess, how do you know it's going to be a girl? Come on, look at both of your families. Which party is most likely to produce a copy of themselves? I thought about it. I see. I didn't think the Konnos stood a chance. So you would prefer a daughter? Yuki-sama. Why do you look so surprised? Unfortunately, we will only know the child's gender next month. I suppose that's natural for a father to want a little girl. Yuki is walking behind me with a large furoshiki in her hands. A lunchbox cover. I can't imagine myself being the type that would play catch with my son. You mean the type to sword fight with your son? No, I don't want us to know each other with a katana, however traditional that sounds. I turned around to notice the bookshop keeper was gone. I thought he made a smart move to leave. Haha! Now that we were alone, Yuki wouldn't stop smiling. What's the matter? I was worried. She walked closer. My heart skipped a beat. The soft expression she wore on her face did something to me. I wasn't sure if he would acknowledge the child. He could have made an excuse to run away. Of course I thought, and now of all places there's a space between the last word and the period, where there shouldn't be a space. What kind of manual of style is this? Of course I thought of that, but I wasn't going to tell her that. I ran to the sick bay to cry on Dr. Manaka's shoulder. I've heard you've been visiting Dr. Manaka in distress. Oh, so you know. She does both Shiro and my checkup. She said it was a necessity I maintain a healthy relationship with the father and told me without my asking. You have no allies, I reminded myself. This child may not be of your blood. So if it is a burden to you... She stopped. Her lips moved silently as if they were trying out words before she said them. She was hesitating. Go on. I took her hand. Why? Why did you acknowledge the child? I knew she would ask at some point. The child in Yuki's body was bound to me only by ritual. There was no proof I was the father. If we had a DNA test done, there was a high probability it wouldn't be mine. And me? I would have denied having anything to do with the child immediately. I wouldn't have acknowledged it. But now? For some reason I had accepted it as my own. Something unexplained inside me had decided it was mine. I guess that's one of the terrors of life. I knew what I said wasn't an answer. Yuki cocked her head. Dr. Manaka said before, things that you do unconsciously, the habits, the repetition, all accumulate to something we call life. Life was accumulative. Before I knew it, this was how it was. That was what the futures were made of. Hopes and dreams were just what they were. Hopes and dreams. I can feel you're being pessimistic. I'm thinking about salvation too. Because what you wish for might not necessarily be right. Who knows? Maybe I'm in the perfect situation. Alright. Yuki's fingers tickled my palm. As long as I know you have hope in you, I'm pleased. Glad you are. By the way, my foot is falling asleep. Ow. Where are Kohai and the others? If they don't come soon, we'll be late. I looked around. Usually, once we made our way through the shopping arcade, Kohai and Mizuho would be there. Then Sine would join in slightly late. But today, they were nowhere to be seen. Yuki looked to her right. Yuki? Then to her left. There! Throwing her furoshiki up to her to bare her hands, Yuki flashed her wrist. Whoa! Her dagger sliced through the air, stabbing into a concrete wall just behind an electric pole standing by the corner. I think it brushed past my nose. Like, it went swing and just touched it. Mizuho stuttered as she poked her head out. They had been hiding behind the pole the entire time. I told you we shouldn't hide and spy on them, Kohai followed. Yeah, but you did it anyway. Then Sine. Learning how to throw daggers are an important part of a lady's accomplishments. Good morning, everyone. Good morning? What about the dagger you just threw at my face? You deserved it for spying on us. But what else do I have to do to but spy? You say that so proudly. Well, anyway, we don't really have a reason to spy on them anymore. At least we know Masaki's alright about the baby. I wasn't trying to spy on them to see if they weren't awkward. I wanted to see if it was going to turn out to be an entertaining situation. There was nothing entertaining about the situation. What? Mizuho said, disappointed. Aren't you a happy bunch? No, I'm not happy. I already feel a headache coming on. My friend, I can only tell you it will get worse in time, Kohai grinned. I knew he was right. This whole story for Masaki has been a headache that's been getting worse all the time. Be real here. Considering the state that Shiro and Yuki were in, I was pretty sure there would be many more problems to come. Mizukami-san, secretary of the student council, was standing by the gates. She was checking for any student dressing against the code. From the way Mizuho turned her to face away, it appeared that she had loafed on the job. We all gave her a light nod and were about to walk through the gates when... Konno-senpai! Huh? Mizuho reacted faster than I did. There was a thin tree growing by the gates. Right under it, there are two figures, one small and another large. Oh hey, Nuki. Oh no, not you. Who is that? The small girl standing next to me began to run towards me. 30 seconds passed. There were only a few meters between us. I looked at the distance from the gate to the tree. I'm not very good at sports, the girl panted, breathing hard with her shoulders shaking. I'll only repeat this again, but it was only a few meters. Is there anything I can do for you? While we waited for her to catch her breath, I turned to the others to see if they knew her. They all shook their heads, shrugging. The first bell rang. We only had 5 more minutes to get into the classroom. Yukari-chan! Come on, you can do it. Remember what Dr. Manaka said. The girl Yukari blushed as Nuki cheered on. Sorry, but I don't really have much time. If you have something to say, just say it. She looked as if she were about to cry. It made me feel bad that I was rushing her, although I had every right to do so to this stranger. I ushered the others to go on without me. Boo! Mizuho stuck out her tongue. Then she made it clear she wasn't going anywhere since she wasn't going to miss out on the entertainment. Curse her. And the others, they didn't budge either, standing on. A crowd was beginning to gather, some teachers too, and there were some nosy Parkers opening their windows of the classrooms, leaning out to see what this was about. Phew! Are you alright now? Yes. Well, what is it then? The girl nodded and took a deep breath. It's the first time we're speaking to each other, and I know you don't really know who I am, Konno-senpai, but I really had to talk to you. So I did some research so I'd know when I could meet you by the gates and— Oh no! I pretty much confessed I've been stalking to him. He must think I'm crazy. What am I supposed to do? But this can't be helped, right? There's nothing I can do, right? I screwed up, but Nuki-chan and Dr. Manaka would understand. It's okay, everybody. Everything is fine now. To get back to it, what was I going to say? Oh, I simply had to talk to you, and... Wait, I already said that. Oh no. Well anyway, as Nuki-chan was saying, I don't really have much time left. I was going to ask you on the first day when term started, but by the time I knew it, it was 5 days had gone by, and I just wasted so much time. But you look like such an intelligent person, I thought maybe you didn't want to talk to someone stupid like me. Why am I wasting your time? If I am, that means if I am, that means I'm doing this now as pointless and I never stood a chance. Well, how about it? I found myself leaning backwards from her sudden verbal outburst. What was this? I wasn't the only one affected, judging from the way everybody else took a step back. In the silence, I could hear the beginnings of the school bell ring, and it was abruptly stopped in a rude blip. As if to say, no interrupting, someone had turned the bell off. Ugh, the unnecessary display of consideration. Well, what do you think, senpai? Yukari pressed forward. Well, I sorted all the information she had just provided in my head. What was your question, anyway? Nullified! I mean, you've told us everything but what you wanted to ask. Can you get to the point? You wanted me to say it directly? Precisely. This is even worse than real life. She turned bright red, ducked her head, and began to wave her fingers in the air. I didn't have a clue what she was drawing in the sky, and frankly, it intrigued me more than what she had to say. Her fingers stopped. Then she lifted her head and looked me straight in the eye. I'm in love with you, Konno-senpai. I love you. The atmosphere froze for a moment, and then swelled. People cheered and screamed, celebrating the admission to others, and others shouting in fear at the chaos that was sure to follow. Is that so? Is that so? That's all? After all that, and that's all you have to say? I thought we'd get shy and blush at each other. Our future plans are already going wrong. I saw it coming. What? Now that you've made things clear, I want to ask you something. You know a lot about me, don't you? You said that you stalked me yourself. Don't say it out loud like that. Yukari pouted. I stayed silent, waiting for her to respond. Yes, I know a lot about you. Not only did I figure out your daily routines, but I also asked the people in the shopping arcade on rumors about you. I'm sure there weren't many good ones, so why me? Why now? I'm moving to a different city in a month. So? 1 month is all I'm asking for. I know you're dating Towada-senpai. I know you have a baby, but I just had to ask. I couldn't leave without trying to do anything. But you... Yukari Nakahira is the name? But Nakahira-san, are you sure this is what you want to do? Nothing will come out of nothing. I had to try. I looked up. The sky looked so high. I have to warn you, this is going to be like volunteer work for me, I told her. I'm pretty sure you're going to get sick of me real quick, but once this happens, just break it off. That means I'm yours for a month. Does he want to die? Does Masaki have a death wish or something? Yukari turned pink from head to toe. That means you're my boyfriend, yes, for a limited time. I felt embarrassed saying so myself. Ah, I'm your girlfriend? I nodded. She froze. Then steam began to rise from her forehead. Yuki-chan, did you hear that? Well done, Yukari-chan. Wait, Yuki-chan is not that physically able to... Ah! Yuki barreled into her in excitement. Yukari flew backwards. Ah, well. I turned to Yuki, relaxing my body. It was my method for protection developed from experience. I know you must be seething now, but please just think of this as a charity job. Yuki grunted as she glared at me with a pout. It's just for 1 month? Yes, ma'am. To think you'd agree to something like that right in front of your girlfriend. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised, since that's typical of you. Is this some sort of test? What are you talking about? Why are you trembling? You're kidding me, right? You're going to whip out Kubikirimaru in a second, right? I'm not allowed to do any strenuous exercise. Huh? Zuho widened her eyes. She had expected Yuki to take out her weapon and thrash me too. It's not good for the baby. We're getting late for class. Let's go. Yuki began making her way to the school. Kohai almost ran after her, but stopped. How is this possible? He asked me in a daze. I shook my head. I don't know. I was just as stunned. I stood there watching the stranger garbed in kimono walk away. An excellent way to put it. So, that was entertaining, right as Mizuho had properly expected. I'm going to end things off here. My name is Dragonite. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, and I will see you all later.